Hi, everybody. Welcome to Que Golazo, a very special interview as I talk to Leeds United chairman and majority owner Andrea Radrizzani. We discuss the present and the future of Leeds United, working with Marcelo Bielsa, his partnership, and of course, the increased stakes from the San Francisco 49ers, American investment, Leeds United's own representation in both England, Europe, and the States, and so much more. So my interview with Leeds United's Andrea Radrizzani begins right now. After 16 years gone from the top flight, Leeds United are enjoying a tremendous return to the Premier League. Never mind avoiding relegation, Marcelo Bielsa's side is pushing hard for a top half finish, which is a fantastic achievement given the team's long absence and the fact that this is Bielsa's first ever season managing in the Premier League. Away from the action on the pitch, there's a lot of business being done to ensure the full potential of the club. So with that being said, joining me now is the club's chairman and majority owner, Andrea Radrizzani, to discuss not just the present of the club, but of course, its future. Andrea, welcome to Que Golazo. Buongiorno.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. And hi, everybody at Que Golazo.
Andrea, it's a pleasure to have you. Jack Harrison was a great interview a few weeks ago, and I'm sure you will do just as well. So we'll get straight to it. Let's talk about the season first off from your eyes, this season. How has it been for you in your judgment, taking in mind, of course, that you entered the Premier League during a pandemic, which is an incredible obstacle?
Well, I obviously, like everybody, I'm pleased with the season. We are 11 in the standing. We are just 2 points behind Arsenal with 1 game less. So we are very comfortable position, and our goal is to maintain the league and to make 40 points. But to be honest, I'm not surprised because I've seen how this group has developed has flourished and developed under Marcelo Bielsa in the last 3 years. So if you look the last games where we have won at Leicester, we won with Crystal Palace, and even yesterday Arsenal we lost, but all these games we had 10 or 11 players of the same championship, the second division in the years before. So I'm very proud of the way Marcelo and the team and the players has developed into and fit with Premier League.
Yeah, you said that you're not surprised. To be honest, I'm not either. You're pushing for a top half finish, as you said, which is remarkable. And I got to tell you, I feel that some of the games should have gone your way anyway, and you could be even pushing for Europe. What are you expecting, Andrea, by the end of the season?
No, as I said, we need to stay on ground, and our goal is 40 points and stay in Premier League next year. We know this club has a huge potential, but we need to perform and stay in the Premier League for 2 or 3 years before we can consolidate. And when only in that moment we can have an ambition to reach the next slots just after the top 6. So we need to be humble now and focus on our daily and weekly work and every game by one at a time. But we take everything that we get more than our initial goal. So I think we will enjoy the next 16 games, and the players are conscious that playing this way, head to head against everybody, keeping their confidence level very high, they can beat and they can perform, they can entertain a lot.
Listen, away from the action, how difficult has it been for you in terms of maneuvering this club when Ellen Road has been empty, post-Brexit, of course? How has your team, your specific team, managed these obstacles?
Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, personally, I struggle because I'm far away for a long time. I was with the team only before Christmas, so it's already a couple of months, and it's too long for me to be far and not have the feeling and the relationship. But at the same time, I have good management in Victor Orta and Angus Kinnear, and they update me on daily basis, and we have a good relationship with our manager. And so I'm a relationship with the key people, and sometimes also with some of the key players. So always going in the right direction, and we need to keep the focus on, as I said before, game by game. And at the end, we will we will plan. We're already planning for the next season, and then I think this player that deserve a good holiday in June and come back for another better season next year. So, but now we still have 16 games to enjoy.
Okay, you talked about your manager. Let's talk a little bit about Marcelo Bielsa for a second. Full disclosure, you need to know I am a disciple of his work, as many, especially South Americans are. We see him, of course, as a legend of the game. Everybody watched All or Nothing with Amazon, of course. Even though the little bit of what we saw, we, just consumed every word of his. Of course, you know this.
It's called Take Us Home on Amazon.
Oh, that's right. Take Us Home. That's right. I'm so glad you corrected me because, otherwise I'll get very in trouble, not just with you, but with Jack Harrison and Marcelo Bielsa as well. So listen.
I thought for the series is very meaningful because Take Us Home means that we need to go back in the Premier League. And that's what happened with the two series.
Yep.
And
absolutely.
As I said in another interview, I'm actually even pleased that not just for the drama of the documentary, but I'm very pleased that the first year we couldn't achieve the direct promotion. We lost against Derby, not just to make the show more entertaining, but to be honest, I think it was a very good plan out of our gut that we need to stay in the championship one more year and consolidate this fantastic group of players we have. And I think being together in the championship, they got mature, they got a different mentality, and they built a better, higher confidence. They also the skills to manage the game in the different phases, and this is helping them a lot in the first Premier League. So I'm very glad that we stay in that hell of the league of the championship 1 year longer to come now more ready in the Premier League.
Well, you know that I more than relate to the journey of the championship going into the Premier League, of course. Hey, listen. Let's talk about Marcelo Bielsa. What's it like working with him?
Everybody in the world is often approach me and say, how is it? They find it very, very difficult to work with Marcelo Bielsa for many clubs. And on my point of view, to be honest, it's not been difficult. We often, or most of the time, see the things in the same way. So I'm fine with him. I know that he's very high demanding, and particularly on the people on daily basis around him, the level of pressure is very high. But at the same time, we know, and it's important everybody keep in mind that if we follow his method, is hard working, the results is coming. And when we reach these results, the reward is really big. So I think it's in every part of life, there is no job that the result is not coming with sacrifice. So what is applying to the team and the individuals of the team is part of everybody's lives, and there are people that really struggle with life much more than football players and ourselves. So we need to keep in mind that we are still really privileged, and what we consider a sacrifice is nothing to the real people out there in the normal world.
Yeah, well said. That's exactly what Marcelo often also talks about, of course. So it makes sense that you two share the same mentality. He signed a new contract last September. He's, of course, famous for his either short agreements or, not over committing. This new contract ends at the end of the season. I think I know the answer to this, but are you in talks with him to extend more? Does he wait until the end of the season? What's that conversation about?
Marcelo knows that we are happy with him. So if he stays, we are really delighted to continue. I believe the players are still following him unconditionally, and that's the first important element for me to decide to continue with him. And if the group is happy with him, I also am happy, and we should continue. Then it's up to him. We're waiting for his decision. But in any case, we myself and Victor, we have already analyzed the different other options, and we know what to do in case Marcelo will not be with us. We hope he will continue, but in any case, we are preparing the club.
Okay, so you have a list just in case things don't go your way or Marcelo rejects it.
Yeah, I believe that this team is not finished yet with Marcelo as well. Need to come and enjoy Ellen Road with the fans in Premier League. That's what he deserves as a manager, and is a unique experience. So he should stay just for that, I think.
Well, that's a good pitch for sure. Listen, let's talk about the San Francisco 49ers with the announcement last month that the NFL team increased their ownership stake to 37% from 15%. What was the thinking behind this? Instead of pursuing other investors, why the accrued commitment with the 49ers and the partnership, I guess?
Well, in these 2 years, we've been friends and partners. We got along very well. They are a strong brand, strong franchise in a big market like US, and they have very good experience in managing stadium and big facilities like Santa Clara Levi Stadium. They are really good in merchandising and another area of the business where I think we can get their help and get their advice to improve our results. So I think we are very complementary. Probably I know better the soccer world, the football world in Europe. I'm very well introduced in the media and sports, and particularly media, and they have other skills. And I think as an industrial partner, they are perfect. They're very complementary, and this can help Leeds United over the time to consolidate this position.
Well, you know more than most about, just the importance of identity in European and English football. How do you see the growing trend of American investors in the game? Obviously, despite the financial gain and the influence, is there a need, do you think, to make sure that they understand that what makes English football so special is its very unique identity, which sometimes I can tell you, because I grew up in England and I'm in the US, American investment sometimes forgets that, but there's a growing interest in it. What do you make of that?
No, it's good that there is an interest. It means the product is good, and I think if they come with the ambition to help the league and the clubs to improve, it's good. It's positive. I think it's more about the individual case by case, because I don't really look at where they come from, the investor, if they come, which country they come. It's more about who are them and what they can bring to the club itself and the league. But overall, I think the Americans have invested in Man United, Liverpool, and they reached great results for themselves as investors as well, like quadruplify or more the value of the asset they invested. So it's been good for many of them. Some other maybe less, but it's been good for some of them.
Right. What about the other way around, Andrea? What about your interest in the American market? There's a huge growth and development in the game here. You can watch more Premier League games here than in England sometimes. Obviously, Serie A, La Liga, MLS, etc. What about Leeds United's own interest in the American market?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really important market for us to grow our brand in, and that's also why the partnership with the 49ers should help to establish our brand at the soccer grassroots level and merchandise level, media and content. So there is a lot to do. We are not ready, but we are getting ready. We're working to be available in US with more projects and more penetration. But at the same time, I think it's an interesting market to invest in players. The American players, I think they're getting better and better. I believe the MLS in the way structure is not. Is growing, but probably can do even better with better talent. At the moment, the level of players they're investing in South American youth, but I think there is if the MLS just need better players to explode as a league. Otherwise, potentially as a huge market like the United States and has fantastic facilities. So as all the components to become one of the top 3 leagues in the world, in my opinion, you need just better level of players. But it's growing, and we have seen with Davies in Bayern Munich, now Reynolds joining AS Roma, and McKean in Juventus. So we're naming 3 of good players, plus our Jack Harrison that is English, but is also American as a development of. So I think the level is growing, and is a very important market to look at.
Yeah. By the way, Jack Harrison really misses his New York pizza, so you have to do something over there to try and make him happy. I
don't think with Marcelo regime he can cope with the pizza, because we have weight check every morning.
Listen, you've previously talked about your admiration for Leicester City as a model. You said, if there's a club I admire for what has been done in terms of football management, it's Leicester. Why Leicester City, Andrea? What do you like about their model?
That they won a title. That's the most important.
Simple question, simple answer, I guess.
Yeah, no, also I think the recruitment, They manage the club very well, in my opinion. They can remain competitive while they're selling the key players to the top team. So it means that the foundation is great, the manager is good, but also the recruitment department is strong.
Right.
And, this is what is my aim, to become a Leicester on the pitch, but Leeds United outside of the pitch, with all respect with Leicester, we have another level of interest in terms of brand and audience. We are a strong brand, globally known already before we even become that competitive.
Well, you know what, Andrea, that was actually my last question, because you make a very good point. You are a very strong brand. And one thing that I was wondering, because I'm Peruvian, and obviously I follow the South American market as well. Bielsa alone attracts a gigantic Spanish-speaking audience for Leeds United, the same way Raúl Jiménez does with Wolves. Do you think that it would be beneficial for your Leeds to have perhaps more of a powerful say, especially in social media, maybe have a Spanish-speaking Instagram, Twitter, Facebook account? I feel like you're missing out there on a big opportunity.
100%. I'm a media guy, and we are behind, we are really behind on many media activities. But unfortunately, we were in the Championship, which is a loss-making league, until a few months ago. And we arrive in the Premier League in a year where we have 40 million less income from stadium because of COVID, and we had to invest over 100 million in football players. So we cannot make miracles. Only one make miracles, and it's not me. So I think we are planning to update our services, and including the media and the customization of the content in the key markets. And I absolutely agree with you, but it's in the plan, but we're not ready yet. So hopefully by the beginning of the next season, we will be able to deliver this content in more markets.
Hopefully so. Andrea, thank you so much for joining us. Leeds United fighting for a top half finish.
If you are free, you can come to join us as well, on top of your activities.
Andrea, I'll tell you something right now. Listen, we'll talk off record, but if you get me Marcelo Bielsa on this show, anything can happen, my friend. Anything can happen.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Andrea Radrizzani, Leeds United, fighting for a top half finish. Andrea, grazie. Hey, everybody. I want to thank Andrea Radrizzani for joining me today. Don't forget to follow us on Que Golazo Pod. Listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, youtube.com/Que Golazo. Have a great weekend.